for green screen fall down.
Just a quick introduction. Myself, Greg P, alongside JT. And we're joined by, well, this guy needs no introduction, to be honest, for the Swansea lot. Mr. C.N. Williams. Clifford, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, very well, very well. Nice to be involved. Nice to see you guys. And yeah, great. Yeah, I'm okay. Stuck in Dubai, but okay.
Stuck in Dubai, you say like that's a bad thing.
Yeah, but it's hot, man. It's hot. It's like it was like 49 today, so it's
fucking hell. How are you so pasty then?
I don't go out in the day, do I? I've never been out in the day, I don't think.
Too busy sleeping.
Yeah, too busy. Plus I've got a massive light shining in my face at the minute. So.
Oh, that'll be it then. That'll be it. So how's lockdown treating you, mate? How is it out there? It's probably a little bit different to what it's like back home.
Yeah, I mean, we're slowly coming out of lockdown. So all our beach clubs and bars and restaurants are open with social distancing.
Right.
But it's been a long process. I think we were 6 weeks. We couldn't leave the apartment. Really had to have a permit. Armed police, stuff like that. Fine for I don't know, 1,000 dirham fine for not wearing a mask, which I think is about £200. Yeah, and then there was a curfew. Then 6 p.m. curfew. Then they lifted that to 11 p.m. And that's only just been lifted now, so you can go anywhere without a permit. So they were pretty strict here. I mean, it was a welcome break, to be honest, from DJing quite a lot, and at the beginning it was a welcome break. And then really, obviously interaction we crave as DJs and stuff like that. So had to sort of reinvent myself a bit, started doing the live streams. To see you guys were smashing that as well. We got Real House TV out of the woodwork. So I just keep myself busy more than anything. And because otherwise I'd have gone stir crazy. I don't know about you guys, but...
absolutely. We feel exactly the same. If we didn't have the streams and running the streams and putting ideas together between us, I think we would have all been signed into the COID.
Exactly. And that was it started off as a bit of fun, it's evolved, same as you guys, it's evolved into something pretty cool, which I think it's sort of future-proof, and I think it's the way it's going to go eventually. It's not going to go back to normal for a long time.
No.
The new normal, or whatever they say these days. But
is Real House TV here to stay, or is it just another...
No, my app's it's in development. We've just had the beta test now, so I'm trying to get away from Facebook.
Yeah.
Just had our own app with integrated chat, so it will use the Facebook chat and our own chat. So you log into our chat, it picks up the chat from everywhere, the website, Facebook, and stuff like that. So, and it's quite a good fun app as well. We've got our own filters on it. You sign in, and also it connects you with people around the world. So say you've signed up to the app and you land, for instance, if you land in Dubai and there's other members that are into the same sort of thing, DJing or house music or whatever you feel out, it will connect you to those people.
Okay.
So I'll give you options of places to go and stuff like that. So it's my idea is just really to live stream on it, and then I spoke to this company called Amplify here. And they've sort of nurtured it really more than me. So they're really good. Otherwise, I just wanted the video on the phone.
Yeah, but I think I don't know whether you've got a bit like us as well. It can be tough, Cliff, playing looking at a webcam, no crowd.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is. I think you have to do. That's why I've got Jay Moore now. We're doing this in the 80s thing. It's just a bit of fun. So started doing them. It's really serious. Not too serious, but I was trying to play really cool tracks and disco and stuff like that. And it's just looking at. Basically, I'm looking at my sofa and my TV really. So it's a bit weird because I set it all up on the dining table just so I have more space. And then exactly. Or the kitchen. My kitchen's not big enough, but it's. It was really good doing it with Jay. We're still doing it, and. It's sort of evolved a bit now. I'm actually streaming directly into clubs. So where I play for Mr. Miyagi's, they've got 3 venues here. One in Dubai, 2 in Dubai, sorry, one in Abu Dhabi. So obviously they're not having DJs at the moment because it's no dancing policy. They put all tables up, and so we're streaming live into those venues when we do our stream, I guess so.
Right. Okay.
So we've got a bit of interaction. We've got shout outs, and I'm bouncing around having a laugh with Jay, and it's when I was doing it on my own, I just thought it was a bit crazy. Like, so I mean, but some of my mates have been doing it for like 10 hours. I was just like, well, I know you did 12.
No, I didn't. No, I did.
No,
we did 12 as a brand, but six. I did 6 hours straight. That was fucking horrific.
It's a normal set, that is.
Oh yeah, for you it is. I'm a hype DJ, 45 minutes and off I am. So Clifford, very, very quickly, for the millions out there who'll be watching this, introduce yourself to people who perhaps don't know you, never heard of you.
Cian Williams, DJ, international DJ, live in Dubai now. Mainly a resident DJ. I own a record label called Wheelhouse. Wheelhouse TV, obviously, and I do Ibiza Radio 1 and some stuff with Kerry Layback Lou as well on that front. Yeah, that's about it, really. And obviously, I was at Escape years and years ago with yourself, Greg, and bit of a Swansea boy about town. To say the least.
So we're going to take you all the way back, Cliff.
God.
You're going to have to jog your memory. So what got you first into music?
Oh God! I mean, I've always been into music from a really, really young age. I mean, my father, we lived in London, and basically he used to do like a blues party, like an illegal party every Saturday in our house. And he built a garage, basically for 2 cars. We didn't have 2 cars, but so we'd invite people. And we had a light box, and then he'd just play reggae and soul and funk. We even had like door stuff. So that was when I was really young. And then I suppose as DJing, I really got interested in DJing through the sort of breakdance and early hip hop scene, with especially like albums like those Street Sounds electro albums, and DJs like Cool Hurt and Grandmaster Flash. And I was just really interested in how they worked and blended music really, and took breaks from things. So I was interested in that side of it, which became a DJ. But as music, it was my family, I guess. So they're big music people.
So how old were you when you got into DJing, Cliff?
Oh God, I think probably about 15. Probably 50. I can remember DJing in West Wales when I was about 15. Right. It's the only way to get into the club, and I did have a set early sets, so which was a very long time ago. It was Checkers nightclub and an alley. So I mean, I was quite young, 15, 16. I mean, I think I had a set of, my father wired up 2 Gerard turntables that he had knocking about into a really crappy amplifier, no mixer, just so I could play 2 songs at the same time. Because I was trying to work it out. Because if you think back to those days, there was no really DJ magazine really. Because I'm showing my age, but there was nobody really to show me how to do it. And we moved from London to West Wales, and that's sort of where I sort of had an interest in London, but then moved to West Wales, very isolated in that sort of thing. So I just had to work it out myself, really, with these 2 record players, which never happened. So.
No, it's an interesting point that you make there as well, Cliff. Really, is that when hip hop kind of first landed in the UK, there was absolutely no information out there for people. I'm 48 now, right? So I was into that street sounds and stuff. I got those and things, and with Nucleus Jam on it and tracks like that.
Classic.
And there was no, apart from being able to lay hands on the street sounds, there was nothing on the TV about it. There was obviously no internet. There was no magazines. We weren't getting stuff imported from the US, certainly to Swansea in West Wales, were we? So,
no, I mean, the imports didn't really start for a long time, I don't think. And that's why I think street sounds had such a dominant thing. I mean, it was in Woolworths. I can remember going to Woolworths to get new street sounds, whether it be the electro or the grooves or whatever the other album, so there was no information. It was tough, and I think when I even later on, when I finally got some money to get some like Sound Lab turntables, I still didn't really know what the pitch was for. I was sort of blending stuff because it sounds funny now, and the kids will go, "Oh my God, that's ridiculous," but you know, you didn't really know. You were just sort of, you're hearing stuff and trying to copy it, I guess.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I'll be like blending or mixing it, trying to mix in the breakdown, or just trying to cheat, really. And, you know, and I think it was just, I think when media started to come on, I got a bit older, maybe sort of 15, you start to work it out. Oh my God, that's what that does. You know, you see people playing on Technics, and, you know, there was a bit more information coming through. But I mean, at my really early age, like, just being interested in it, I had no idea. I had freaking no idea.
No, the first times I really saw DJs playing would probably be watching Breakdance the movie or Beat Street.
Yeah, but that's it. Beat Street was a big influence for me. You know, even the breakdance and electric boogie, even though they're quite corny in what they are, they're a stable source of our whole British scene, because Britain really didn't know anything about that.
No.
Even the graffiti scene, you know, that took off from those films as well, especially breakdancing. It was the ET for BMXing in the UK, really. It was the same sort of thing. It was like, oh my God, sort of flick was switched on, and you see Ice-T there on oh,
yeah,
that's what So yeah, but Beat Street definitely for me is one of my all-time favourite films. But from then, I suppose DMC did the World Championships. You got to see that, and you know, I've still got most of those on video.
Yeah, I got a load of them on video up in the loft as well. I don't think I've got a video player.
I don't think I've only played with that.
Beat the Max.
Yeah.
Have you got your phone near the mic, Cliff? Because there seems to be some feedback coming through.
I might be mine, because this is. Let me turn it. There we go. Let's go.
Cool.
Perfect.
So you still got feedback? Yeah, better. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's better now. So, what was the first record you bought?
God, it probably was. I mean, I don't know. It might have been. It's probably Lisa and the Cult Jam.
I wonder if I take you home.
Yeah, probably on a 7-inch. It was either that or an electro album. I mean, I had a friend in school called Simon when we were in junior school. We used to get pocket money or get money for school equipment and go to like the local hour price or whatever, and spend it on. And but he had an older brother, and his older brother sort of introduced us to Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 and that whole early hip hop scene and the whole that whole thing. So, and that's where we just looked for stuff like that. And I think I bought Lisa and the Cult Jam, even though it's a major classic now. I think the cover was just breakdancers on it, if I remember rightly. And that's why I bought it. I didn't know Lisa and the Cult Jam. I was kidding. You know, I was just like, that's a good cover. I'm into breakdancing. I'll buy that. So yeah, I think I've still got it. So it's either that or something like Electro 4 or 5 or something like that. So really, so long ago, I couldn't tell you. I probably bought crap before that, but they're the definitive things I can remember buying, I guess.
Yeah. It was interesting, really, with early breakdancing as well, because it wasn't just hip hop tracks that they used. Was it? You know, they kind of ripped them from everywhere. Obviously, Kraftwerk was a big one, and George Kranz did Dada and stuff like that as well, wasn't it?
You've got a really good. I mean, I think that's where my fascination with disco really comes from, and I think most of there was a lot of breaks used from all genres, especially Kraftwerk. I mean, they were original out here, and. But I think that's where my fascination with disco comes from, because I was really into that disco break and that sort of upbeat hip hop, and So thinking about it now, and my fascination with collecting disco and playing the house and disco together, I think it's still really, I'm still really that kid looking for that break from those early hip hop acts, really, because that's all it was. They'd get 2 disco breaks and loop it, really, and then rap over the top.
The Amen break, wasn't it? The Amen break.
My God. I know, amazing. I mean, how many times has that been sampled?
Absolutely, man. It's incredible stuff, incredible. And I think that I think that the beauty of it early doors was that, like I say, that they used a bit of everything to try and throw it. Because Shaka Khan, I feel for you, was a kind of a bit of a breakthrough in the UK as well, wasn't it?
Again, a big track, big track for me. I can remember being in Uxbridge. I can't remember about all sorts of crap. Yeah. I was in Uxbridge, and my auntie took me to like the market, Sunday market, I guess.
Yeah.
And I was going obviously off to the record store. I could just hear this song. And I actually heard it at a fair before. Chaka Khan, let me tell you, I'm just like, I need this, and I feel for you as well. And it's just like, I needed that song. I needed it, and I can remember asking my auntie to buy it for me at this freaking Sunday market. Again, but that was, I mean, the production on it was superb. That was taking what they were doing in the hip hop world on 2 turntables and a mic, literally, and producing it well. And I can't remember who produced that, but it's.
Well, that and I suppose the other kind of early sort of rap influence that you heard in the UK was Fab Five Freddy on Blondie's Rap Theory.
Yeah, people say that's the first rap up. You know, I just because it is Fab Five Freddy. So, and it is that whole rap is a rip. So people saying it's the first rap, I disagree with, because obviously it's Sugar Hill Gang. So, or Fab Five.
They also say about what's it? King Tim Personality Jock is one of the first rap tracks as well.
Yeah, I mean, I actually think it's Hustlers Convention from 1973, and there's an album, and it's called the Hustlers Convention, where I get the name from the Hustlers tapes from, and that was because it's just talking, and it's about the Hustlers Convention. It costs you 25, and they just rap. Well, it's not rapping as we know it.
No, I know what you mean, but it's more like toasting. They were then as well, weren't they? Really,
that's it. Yeah, toasting and sort of telling a little story, but it is a rap, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not what people would expect it to be. I think
it's not what you expect, but it's so early on. It's probably about 72 or 73. So
yeah.
And that's it's.
Muhammad Ali used to claim to be the first rapper, didn't he? With his
did he?
Well, yeah, you know, because of those little rhymes that he used to do.
Because Muhammad Ali. Yes.
I wasn't going to argue with him when he was alive. I fancy my chances now, obviously. But
Muhammad Ali said, was it Muhammad Ali? I said I was the greatest even before I knew I was, or something.
Yeah. That's it.
What was that? Oh, come on, Greg, you must know that. Who was that?
I've heard so many one-liners. What's the best one? The best one I think I've heard him say is that I'm so fast. I get up, turn the light off, and I'm in bed before it goes dark.
Yeah. I like that. There was a good one he said about when he was going to fight Joe Bugner, wasn't it? And he said he looks like a Greek god and fights like a goddamn Greek.
So there it is. He is probably the original rapper. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
What was the other one? He said, "Waves crash against the rocks, birds fly through the trees, and I beat people up."
Profound.
Sounds like one of Chris Bear's lines. Sorry.
So Cliff, when was, obviously you started off as a hip hop DJ, but how? And without answering the next question for you, that's where it's obvious you get some of your style from. But can you describe, for people who are new, your DJing style?
I suppose. I mean, I'm quite active, I guess, behind there. Even though I think I'm not. When I watch myself back, I just think I'm so animated. And I still use the crossfader. I shouldn't use it as much, but
I do the same.
I think it's my history. I've got to use both of them now, so I use the slide. But I did have a rotary mixer, but then I had the rotary mixer with a crossfader, so it's a bit weird.
That's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy, that isn't it?
Exactly that. So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm more subdued now. I suppose in my 20s, the skate days very sort of flamboyant, I guess, and performing and making up dances to every song. But energy runs out. So I'm very subdued now. Well, I think I am, but everybody says they can't stop me. So in my head, I feel like I'm focused and in control. If you see the video, it looks completely the opposite. So, but yeah, I don't know. I like to beat juggle. I like to bring stuff in and out. I like to use samples. I use a lot of loops. I would have 3 turntables at every gig if I could. So a lot of acapellas, a lot of loops, a lot of noises. And now it's about sort of re-editing on the fly for me and taking disco songs and maybe even beefing them up or beefing them down, or or even house songs, or even 90s house songs and slowing them down, or again jacking them up. I'm a big jacking house fan, as you know. So I like a sample. I like a sample. A lot of people disagree with me, and I've had chats, with really talented, super talented musicians, producers, and we can talk about it all day because it's just a way of working, whether it's production or DJing. Obviously, my argument is I can't play a fucking instrument. So,
that's my argument as well.
Yeah. I'm going to have to sample somebody who can.
Yeah.
So,
why buy a dog and bark yourself?
Yeah, but that's it. That's it. So I've got a lot better. But I mean, I suppose if you hear my production, it's very similar to or the jacking stuff probably is very similar to how I put together a set. And I like to tell a story. If you ever listen to some of my mixes, they're actually all connected. So the songs are all about something, maybe what my mood is at the time, all about love or a breakup, so they're all connected. It's a story, but it's very hidden. It's very hidden.
Well, you've just told us now.
I might not be bad at.
So I'm going to go back to your re-edit because it's something that we've discussed a few times on the group. Now, back in Escape, you used to play Finally over, is it Live My Life? The dub?
Austin's Groove, isn't it?
Austin's Groove, yeah. So that was, yeah. So it's Finally, yeah.
Have you got that? Have you got that on an MP3?
I think I tried to do it a while back. I think I tried to do it for you. I was going to redo it for when I come to play you. But no, I mean, it was live. It was always live. So, it was that. It was Austin's Groove Finally, and I think there was another acapella at the end. And there was another one I did with Billie Jean and Lazy. That was the other. People keep asking me for that.
Yeah. So why don't you do them then and then send them to me? Because I'm not going to do them.
I will do. Actually, I was thinking that when I come to DJ for you, and I was in Danielle's parents' house, and I was thinking, if I got that, I was just had my laptop, and I was just trying to do it, and I think it sounded a little out of key. I don't know. I don't think I was in the right. I couldn't really work it out on Ableton. I needed to play it so I could remember. So yeah, but I'll do it again. But I think it needs to be you, because I think it's on Hustlers, one of the Hustlers at the end. I think.
Yeah.
I thought I might just rip it. Just rip the artwork.
I don't mind. I just care about the final result. How you get there, Clifford, is not up to me. Good man. So we're going to go back as well. Well, it's probably, I'm not sure if it's before your Escape days, but it definitely was when you were in your Escape days. You used to be part of a distribution company. Yes. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, this is quite a long, boring story, but I got into, because I had a record shop in Swansea called Club Scene. I had one in Pembroke as well. And when I was about 20, I closed that and I moved to London. Just moved to London, back to London. So I had no money, no job or anything. And then I was looking for any work, and just by chance got to know these people who were doing a little bit of distribution out of a van, and started to work for them. Then I got a job at a company called Jumpstart Distribution. And then that was early day. I suppose they were doing a lot of drum and bass and stuff like that. So, because it was like mid to late 90s, about 95. And then, I mean, very quickly, I set up my own company called Stone City. We did all the UK garage. And then I got headhunted then by Pinnacle, which is probably what you're talking about. And I did all stuff like, Z Records. I was actually at the pinnacle of it. Don't mind the pun. I was label manager for Jive. So on one hand, I did De La Soul and all the stuff on Jive, all the really cool Tribe Called Quest, Pheromonge, But on the other side of that label as well, I also did all the marketing for Britney Spears and Steps and stuff like that. So all those, Justin Timberlake's first album and Britney's first album, all the UK marketing is done by me for that at Pinnacle.
Okay. Yeah. Pretty cool.
But that was, and then I left there and I left there to set up Wheelhouse. I had Wheelhouse Records running through it at the time. Yeah. And then I thought I wanted to just get more back into dance music, and I set up Wheelhouse Distribution at the time. And we had four vans in London importing vinyl and then just selling them to black market and uptown, everywhere, the whole country. There's still a lot of jokes about that. People still got hundreds of returns for me.
you must have done it clever, because when I had a record label, it was sale or return. So
that's what I'd give the shop. So I'd phone up the market, I'd be like, Si, or whatever, a big jump phone. How many of this do you want? They'd be like, we want 5 or 10. I'd be like, 100. Shitloads. Record labels, vinyl was a difficult era at the end, and that's why obviously Wheelhouse went digital.
Well, I think the market kind of drove it that way anyway, though, didn't it? Equipment started changing as well, and they were pushing more towards the electronic side of it. And
it really did. I think I moved back to Swansea then, and I was still pressing vinyl, and it just bottom end fell out of it completely, and
very quick as well.
Just record shops were buying, and there was just no market. I couldn't. Where we'd press 5,000-10,000 of just regularly of pretty much every release, you get 1,000 or then 500, and then you still have them left over. But it was the returns that you could see the problem where. So like the shops would still be there, or say the chain stores like H&B get a scale out to the chain stores. They take, let's say we want 3,000 copies, but they are on sale or return to H&B. So it was just killing you. And no one's buying vinyl, so it ends up getting like 3,500 back. I only sent you 3,000.
I was looking through my attic not last week, the week before. I came across a box of my very first release. I'm not sure. You probably know him. His name now is Scott Diaz.
Yeah, I know Scott. Yeah, I know Scott well.
I released his first tune, Scott Tonic, he was called then.
No way.
Yeah, Jazz Mataz, I can remember. I think I pressed 500 copies, and I counted it at like 388 upstairs.
There it is. At least you've got left.
So,
he's wicked, man. No, I'd like to hear that, to be honest. I've never heard that, because I really rate him as a producer. And, I've got loads of his edits and stuff like that. I can't remember if we brought him to Dubai. I'm sure we brought him out here. I think he might have come out with Grant Nelson. Not over sure. I know it could have been Shady and Scott. I don't know. But they're all that little
collective.
Really talented group of producers.
Yeah. So what kind of producers did you have on Real House?
We've got everyone really. So we've had releases from Lenny Fontana, Byron Stingley, Jocelyn Brown, Angelo Ferrari, a bit more current. I don't know, we've got quite a few. I've just put one out from my mate John Bessett, which is it's a really good chill out track. It's really different for Real House, but I really like the Sunset mix. It's just I try and help it as a platform more than anything, because I think even with Real House TV and Real House Records, they're about pushing the scene forward or helping like you did with Scott. Trying to move it forward. And, I had the Layabouts on there when they first started out, and they do massive stuff now with Joey Negro and, Central Station. And so, we've got some really, really, really good artists. HB Vince, some really good remixes, Anarchy Garcia, really, really pretty cool stuff. Liquid Conan's just done a thing on there with Robert Walker. So really cool tracks. And some of them are blown up, but some of them are bubble. So it's Real House Records. It's my baby, but it's just a hobby really. It's a passion. It's a passion. So if I believe in it, it's good.
You can. So how many releases are you on now, Cliff?
So it's got to be up to about 300 or so. I mean, it's been going since 2001, so it's not that many.
You're not saturating the market then, are you? So
I just one here and there. Actually, listen to this. No, I'll wait. I've done 10 of my own through lockdown, so it's going to be an onslaught.
Well, one of the ones that you've done in lockdown is it's a track I first came across on a.
I've lost it.
Go on. Are we back?
I've lost your sound. Hang on, bear with me. Let me see if I can. I'm sure you can still hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
Video settings. Hang on. Oh. You can tell it's live, see?
Yeah.
Right, okay, I'll be back. Right,
there we are. No, I was going to say one of the ones that's come out fairly recently. The tune I first came across listening to a Nightmares on Wax mix. It's Betty Wright.
Oh yeah, yes, no, yeah. You like that? Yeah, coach. Yeah.
Yeah. So the original version's a great version anyway, isn't it? You know. And
it's really not. But I think I remember my Nightmares on Wax album, and it come with their first album come with a packet of Rizzler.
Yeah, Smoker's Delight. Yeah.
Smoker's Delight. That's right.
yeah.
So I think that's not on there now, but it's quite a subtle track. It's quite a subtle remix of it. So
yeah, it's quite slowed down as well. It's not a fast up tempo banger, is it?
Yeah, it's not. It's I've slowed it down. I've taken a lot of the feel out of obviously the original one, but I think it just works subtly. It just plods along subtly. It's quite nice. You can play it. If you pitch it up, it's got a bit of energy, but you can sort of play it wine bar or sunset or where pool party. So I thought it was all right. I thought it's okay.
Yeah, it's a good track, and it's like I say, it comes from a good place anyway. She's got a fantastic voice, but I think you've been very very complimentary to the original as well. In all fairness, too, as well. So
thanks. That's good.
That's a cracker.
And we were talking about that as well when we just in terms of like styles and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I've noticed because obviously I do listen to some of your stuff and some of your tunes as well. Are you kind of no worries, mate. And you did send me some as well in the week, so thank you for those.
Yeah. I thought I better add.
Grease the wheels, isn't it? Grease the wheels.
So cheers, there, mate. But we've noticed, like, obviously you talked about you're evolving from hip hop to like the disco and house sound, and now you are kind of like going a little bit down tempo, really. Is that because of the environment you're in? Because obviously now you're playing in Dubai. I'd imagine that the scene might be a little bit different to what it is in Swansea, where here it's just all hype. And perhaps there, because as you said, you're doing the sunset and the pool parties. Is that just is that just a movement with the times, or is that a conscious thing you've done?
It's not a conscious thing. It's definitely not a conscious thing. I mean, when I was in Swansea, I guess my BPM was probably too fast. And when I'm here, it's too slow.
It's not too fast for me, mate. It's not too fast for me. Mine's on 131, 132 anyway.
Bad Mama Jam was at 130. It was
right.
made at 130. I mean, when I re-released it, I slowed it back down last year or the year before. But I don't know. It must be. I think it's probably the gigs I'm playing at, because I think before I was so used to, like, back home, all my gigs were house. Flat out. Let's have it. And I have a lot of those gigs here, like weekend gigs. They're very similar. But so say on a Thursday's the busiest night here, because the weekend is Friday and Saturday. So Thursday is effectively Friday night. So everyone will finish work. Like tonight, obviously normally I'd have another gig, but tonight I go to, and I'm playing it I start at about 90 BPM and finish at about 120. But then I'd go to another club and it'd start at about 120, and I'd end up playing, I don't fuck knows, but you know, I'd end up I'll be banging it out, thinking I'm some sort of god like that. But yeah, that's it. It's too fast. Well,
you can never be too fast, Cliff.
I don't know, but I mean, I've tried to experiment a bit again. I mean, I did some sort of weird jazz track, which I think took me a long time because it's all MIDI played, but it's all played and there's no samples apart from the only thing in sampled in it is the actual vocal. So,
right.
I mean, it's samples, but I haven't taken a chunk from anything. I've just used MIDI sound, really. So, you know, and it's just a laptop and a keyboard. But I've tried to make with that. I think that's a weird BPM. It's about 150.
Yeah.
But really 75. So it's I don't know. It's just an expression. It's just something I wanted to try, and I guess that's the same thing with the downbeat stuff and a lot of the 100 BPM stuff because it's a massive scene, and I see a lot, you know, the Glitterbox stuff, and you know, a lot of those DJs, Joey Negro, and all those producers I look up to, also doing that sort of thing. So I think, you know, like you say, it might be a sign of the times. I don't know where a lot of people are doing house parties, you know, and obviously here there's a lot of pool parties and a lot of sundowners and a lot of, you know, it's like being on holiday. So you've got
I think you know, in really, really hot weather, right, outside, people don't want to dance to 130 odd BPM.
Says who? Then got a fucking choice of I'm playing.
There is that.
There is that. So Cliff, for everybody, this is quite a Swansea-centric thing. So you're probably most famous for your escape days, which I don't even know how long you played there for. Was it 10 years, 12 years?
Oh, I don't know, 97 to probably 2008. So what's that?
So how did you get in? Because obviously you're from West Wales, from London first, and went to West Wales. How did you get in Escape?
Well, I was back in London. I was London, West Wales, Swansea, London, and then I only moved back to Wales because of Escape, really. But I was DJing there for about 5 years, travelling back and forward from London every Saturday. So I was DJing in London quite a bit, and I came down as a guest. I was doing Miss Moneypenny's Canal Club before Escape. So it was just quite a weird thing. And Danny Slade just said, we're looking for some funky house DJs or whatever it was at the time. So he said, would you be interested? I said, I'll come down as a guest. Got my name wrong, so he didn't know me all my life. And then, sorry, Dan, you know you did. And what happened then? And literally, I met Byrne. I didn't know Byrne then, you know, at the time. And I'd go back. And then I think a week after I was at Canal Club, and then Danny said, do you want to come and do the last bit? So I could be there. I could be there by 3. So, and then it just happened. It wasn't. I was never like given the residency or okay. I never went for the residency. I came as a guest, and then it just evolved into coming down every weekend. Or Danny going, "Oh, you up for it again this week?" And them getting on really well with Byrne, and we were splitting. What happened was we were splitting the shifts. So, both separate gigs, I guess.
Yeah.
So, you know, and basically it's the opposite way around, splitting the shifts. We were like, we might as well do this whole thing together, you know, because. I'm gonna wait, listen to you, and you're gonna listen to me. So let's just go back to back. So that's how that evolved, really. So, but it was a good run. It was probably, you know, it was a fantastic time. So, you know, and the memories I've got from it are everlasting. And they still, with every set I still play, there will be something that I play that's a kickback to Escape.
Yeah.
Every single set. There's something in there. There's always something I play because that's how much of an impact it's made on me.
You can't get away from it, can you? Obviously, I played there as well for, I don't even know, it's about 7-8 years as well.
Yeah,
and even 45 minutes at a time, though.
Yeah, well,
left.
Yeah, it's fucking overtime usually. But yeah, it's something. The club was so iconic, and we probably didn't even think that at the time. That you just can't get away from it.
You can't. I mean, it's a lot. I've seen a lot of people say, and it's hard. It's hard. You know, I can't boast. We can't big it up, but it's really beautiful to see. You know, people now have grown up, been around the world clubbing, and experienced clubbers now, and they've gone, oh my God, we probably had one of the best clubs in the country at the time. We didn't realise, they didn't realise it. But yeah, we did. I think we did. I think we were up there. No one knew.
No,
I think in Wales, because there wasn't the same sort of super club sort of status in Cardiff at that time. There was nights on, like Cool House were on, America and stuff like that. They were happening, but they weren't every Saturday night. Bang, 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 were they?
It wasn't. It was. I mean, skate was consistent. It was. It was consistently good. You'd know what you'd get. People would queue up. You know, you didn't even have to have the guests. You didn't even need guests at the end. I mean, I can remember certain guests. They'd wait for the residents to go back on, but whatever room it may be. They'd go, well, you know, we don't want guests. We want our regular scheduled programming. So, iconic without a shadow of a doubt. I'm really happy to be proud of that. Part of that.
Yeah, it is. Once you look back, it is a proud thing, and I'm proud of being part of it for such a long time. Going, and you may have already answered this, and if you have, I apologize. So, what's the best gig that you've done? So, what's the most standout gig?
I still think it's one. I mean, I've had a lot of amazing gigs, and I've been very privileged. Very, very privileged to travel and do a job that I love. And I've seen some amazing setups, seen some, you know, really dirty setups, but the gig's just been on fire. You know, I've ended up traveled to America, both sides of the globe, basically. But the standout gig is probably the Eric Miro gig, Escape in the Park. Probably my standout favourite gig of all time. Escape in the Park. I think it was Eric Murillo. Graham Park was playing. We were in a rubber tent. My mum was there with a Sam Williams t-shirt on. Amazing. But I can remember. I think I was playing like James Harji, Pretty White End in there, and I just saw the whole crowd follow my hand. And I was just like that. It will never go away from me, that memory, and it was overwhelming. And at the time, you sort of not really know what, you know, it's like going on holiday and coming back. You don't really appreciate it until you come back. So at the time, I brought, you know, floating through it. But I think about that gig probably once a week and how amazing. Yeah, it's just electric. You know, the Escape in the Park game, it was people were so enthusiastic and enjoyed the music for what it was. You know, you don't get that. You don't get that at all anywhere. People are more interested in about their Instagram or it's just a different world now. But that was, for me, that was when energy, it was just we're here to party, and that's it. So Escape in the Park. I can't remember the year, probably 2003, 4 maybe.
I think it was 03, wasn't it?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It was a rubber tent. I know it was hot.
Not as hot as it is out in Dubai, mate.
Not as hot. Yeah, I know. Crazy.
So what's the most random gig you've done then, Cliff? Because obviously you've said that you've played all over the world, so there's got to be one standout gig that you thought, well, you probably didn't think at the time, but you thought, fucking hell, Jesus, how the fuck did I do that?
I had good or bad? Good.
Either or.
I've done some fucking crazy gigs. I don't know. I think recently I went, not the last time I went to Malaysia, but the time before I did this. I was just going. I didn't know what to expect really, and I got booked. I've never been to Malaysia before, and I'm in Kuala Lumpur, and I don't know. I was doing this like wine bar thing on the first night, and then they would go, "Well, you're doing this roof party the next day." I was thinking, well, that's cool, that. But I didn't expect it. I turned up to this place, and they built a full-on like festival stage on the top of a building, and the top of this building had a swimming pool. Now in Dubai, everyone's really cool, and it's all very like they're partying, but not partying.
Yeah.
This party was like a pool party from a film. I swear you not. There's people. I think someone set themselves on fire and jumped in. I don't know. It was like something off. It was something off. Oh, I don't know. I really don't know how to explain it. It was off the hook, and I was just like that. I mean,
so you weren't playing your 100 BPM in that fucking gig then?
Oh no, I was flat out. I was doing the Greg P.
So you did touch on it just then. What's the worst gig that you've ever done? You don't have to name. You don't have to name names or venues or anything.
I'll tell you a funny gig that I had to do. It's
Okay.
a corporate gig, and it's actually in Dubai. So I was doing a lot of stuff for corporate people. So I had an agent. So I had this gig for Pepsi Middle East. Okay, no problem. It's going to be all corporate. We're going to, there's this whole thing where they're doing this emoji launch for Pepsi. So they're all like, I don't know. Did you have that in the UK? I don't know. It's like a crack thing. Emojis come out anyway. So I turn up and I play. It's all very corporate, all photos. And they just turn around and go, "Would you mind putting this emoji head on?" Well, you what? Yeah,
Ed Mouse Williams.
And then dancing and pretending to DJ. I was like, well, I am actually DJing, so I don't have to pretend. They're like, well, you won't be able to see in it. So I have a video of me in this huge emoji head. There's loads of really high-end people, and me just pretending to DJ. So that was probably the weirdest gig. I quite enjoyed it, though. I quite enjoyed having the emoji head on.
That could be one of your aliases.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was thinking, yeah, it's good work. I don't know. I mean, I've had. I mean, I DJ for a living, so you can imagine. I get booked for all sorts, and especially here, I do that 6 nights a week. Monday. I mean, yeah, and I do a double. You'll hate it, Greg. So I do 4-hour gigs. So on Friday, I do pretty much 12 hours back-to-back gigs. But they're good ones. But then I do like 4 or 5 hour gig on a Monday, and it's just you're playing. You might as well be playing at home because no one's out on Monday. So
right.
It's just but they have to have entertainment all the time, and obviously I have to make a living and. Those are my bread and butter gigs, so it can't always be flat out. So,
that's fair enough. And you probably get a chance to play music that you wouldn't normally play in a main set anyway. So
good testing grounds, really good testing grounds. Because you can hear stuff on a good system that you downloaded at the weekend. You might not have even played it at the weekend, so it's a good chance to sort of test stuff out.
Yeah.
And some of those gigs turn into good gigs. Well, I don't know, bad gigs. I don't know. There's nothing I'd say was a bad gig. I don't think there is such a thing.
You never know who's in the crowd at some of these places as well, Cliff, I suppose. You could be playing on a Monday night in some bar in Dubai, and all of a sudden you've got somebody in the crowd who thinks, well, I tell you what, I like what he's doing. I really like that. And you can get a booking off the back of that as well, can't you? So.
Exactly, yeah. Exactly. I mean, I've played, I've got an agent here, but I do a lot, like I said earlier, I don't just play house music so I will play, corporate events, and they will want a really wide range of music, anything from R&B, hip hop, all the general stuff. But then they'll request a lot of, because a lot of different nationalities are here. So obviously they'll want some Arabic music, and they'll want some Indian music, and they'll want some Thai music. And you have to sort of, I have all this now. I have it all. So I have to work out where to play it and what to play it, and it all sort of mixes really well. I was just sort of trying to get the BPM sort of quite near. But I still actually mix every single thing, even though you wouldn't have to. You'd probably just but I still try and mix everything, and But it's quite an eye opener, especially in the early days of me doing that, because obviously I was just used to playing house, which is.
Well, I was going to ask you that. That was where I was kind of going to go with that. Is that obviously the move from the UK to Dubai, the environment is different. How long did it take you, do you think, to adapt to the change?
It took me a while. I was at Tribeca first here, and that was more of an urban bar, New York inspired bar. So I was playing a lot of hip hop, and obviously, I mean, I was not one to know. I didn't know where to get edits of hip hop and stuff like that from that were mixable, and so I'm trying to mix the originals the BPMs were all over the place. I didn't really know much about transitioning or transitioning from one BPM to another really quickly. And that's the biggest learning curve. I think it helped me as a DJ, and I'm a lot more knowledgeable about that sort of stuff. I mean, even to the point where I did 4 months, I think, as an open format hip hop DJ in Bahrain. So I wasn't playing any house.
Right.
I think it was one night house. But I mean, these guys, and I turned up at this gig, and these guys are like proper, they are proper hip hop DJs, so, so, and again, after that, those 3 months, it really, helped me as a DJ, helped me. And I all think it's experience for when I play house. That's the thing. Every gig like that is, you will always take something away from it to use in your actual sets as your, as Sia Williams. Or,
yeah, absolutely. Because I've seen Jazzy Jeff live, right, playing hip hop.
Yeah.
I've seen him playing house as well, and he's a fantastic house DJ as well. Like, those skills are intertransferable, aren't they?
They are. I think it's difficult to transfer them the other way.
Yeah,
it's really difficult because you're used to a sort of steady BPM and
structure to the beats and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not using a half beat. You're not. So where open format, or it's you're playing a house track, and then you're playing an R&B track, and then you're playing reggaeton, and then you're playing, I don't know, old school track, and then you're back into house and EDM. So but it's still got a sound like you're playing at 1 BPM.
Yeah.
Really, it's quite interesting. It's an interesting thing. I mean, I can remember years ago, people would say R&B, and I wouldn't take the gig because I didn't think I was up to it. It's a really good open format DJs.
Yeah.
Especially in Swansea, Mikey Thomas and people like that. Amazing at transitioning. So, but yeah, I think it's opened my eyes more than anything.
And do you think that having digital equipment rather than having to do it analog has made it easier for you to be able to do that transition? Because you're rooted on turntables rather than CDs in a lot of ways anyway, aren't you?
I would have thought, to be honest, at the beginning, I would have thought it'd be easier to do it on vinyl because you could cut it in. Like I was saying about the early days of blending, you could use it that way with vinyl. You can sort of see the grooves in it where you could transform it. So with digital, you can't really get that feel for it. So that it is more digital than film because you're calculating really.
It's like a scientific process more than
more than a feel. Yeah. So, but once you get used to it, then the film comes into it. I guess you just know where you are with it. But at the beginning, it's tough. I would have preferred to do it on vinyl to start with.
Well, it's something that I mentioned in an interview that we did a couple of weeks ago. I really, really hated the transition from vinyl to digital. I was dead against it. I said this, Greg, and I hated it. Right? And I was honestly, I was like King Canute. I was sat on the beach telling the tide weren't coming in. I really railed against it to the point of using DVS systems rather than going digital. For a long time. And in the end, I just thought, oh, come on, I can't be dealing with this anymore. Let's change.
I think the DVS system is the way forward. I think that will come back. But again, there's no real difference, I don't think, especially now with the technology that Pioneer and Denon. I don't think there's no real difference in using a turntable than using a full size Platinum Pioneer in vinyl mode, obviously. But
well, they've seen, and those new rain decks they've got as well. Are they called the 12s or something? Those
without the needle. Well, they've just got. Well, they don't. They just play, don't they? They just play. No needle or anything on them. Because you can get the rain thing that you can put on your turntable.
Yeah, on the spindle. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jazzy Jeff uses them.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, again. I mean, it's. I think it's each to their own. I think no one really cares now. The whole. I was the same. I was like, if you haven't got it on vinyl, you haven't got it.
Yeah.
For the last 10 years. So.
You're not a DJ unless you played vinyl. That's for our old school head saying it.
I mean, I've heard people say you're not a DJ unless you played on CDs now.
CDs is only an 18-month thing, wasn't it? Really?
Time is moving, and a lot of people don't even know. Even the DJs I see out here now, they wouldn't know. They wouldn't even know what a record is.
It's become more accessible though, Cliff, as well. Everybody's a DJ now, aren't they?
This is it, but this is again probably a good thing. It's a good thing for our scene.
Yeah,
I think that creates interest, especially as a record label. It's great. So,
yeah.
But,
and I think it pushes the technology on as well.
It does move. Technology's moving so far. It's going to change. It's changing all the time. I mean, the platter will disappear very shortly. I'm sure. Just for the new wave of DJs, not for us, because we will always have to have some form of touch. But I think a lot of the. I mean, I still cue it in. I still cue it in as if I'm queuing vinyl. I won't use the cue button.
Right.
I still cue it in. And so I just can't imagine having. I think Native Instruments are doing.
Yeah,
they have done for a long time. They've got no jog wheel or anything like that. So.
Yeah, and if you watch James Hype, we use him as an example. He like Greg knows my feelings on this, but he's. I respect what he does. And I've said this all along. But he's just a glorified button presser. He is. All his tracks are set to 130, whatever. Right? There's no queuing. They're all hot cues, and it's just bang, 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 button, button, button.
That's not DJ. That's not being a DJ. Unless you're a creator. The only way I feel, even going back to the sync button and hot queuing.
Yeah.
They're there to be creative. It's there to be the sync button's there not so you can mix two tracks together. It means you don't have to worry about that. All it means is you don't have to worry about sorting that 2-second thing out. Yeah. Nowadays we're going on 125.
Yeah.
So you just hit it. Right, that's done. Right, let me see what else. Let me work a little remix here. So you don't have to worry about it, and you can be really quick. Bang.
Yeah.
But if you're not remixing on the fly and being creative, then it's absolutely pointless. We can bore yourself to death for 5 hours. So it's. And
I'm not detracting from what he does, but it's not for me. It's just not.
No,
for me.
I know. I've never seen. I don't think I've seen him play. So, but I mean, if it's mixing in and out, and like you say, queuing in and out, then I don't see the point of that either. You can just put a CD on, but
yeah,
it's when you get that technology and someone is creative with it, and really work that technology, then I really get excited because I think that is a great move. But again, maybe not DJ. You're getting into the realms of production and on the fly, and you see that a lot now. You see a lot of people bringing keyboards and or their production kit out really to DJ with, rather than just be a DJ, I guess.
Yeah.
On the back of that, Clifford, then, who is your favourite DJ?
I've got a few. Rolf Lawson for one. Louis Vega. Quite a lot of the new school. I don't know. Joey Negro, all the classic. I like all those guys. John Morales, I think he's amazing. I don't know, but I mean, I like a lot of drum and bass DJs, Fabio and Groove Rider, people like that. I find them interesting to watch. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, massive. I'm really actually interested in other DJs. I think a lot of other DJs aren't, or they're not really bothered. I like to watch, take influence. Really, I've watched a million live streams, million, just because I'm fascinated. One I watch a lot is Louis Vega, which is probably why it popped into my head. But
have you watched any of Francois K's?
I haven't watched any. No, I bet he's phenomenal, to be honest.
Yes. But he's got to the point, Cliff. Right? Well, I've watched him a couple of times, and there's been like 12 people watching him, and he's been playing for an hour and a half, and I just think, like, do you realise who this guy is?
I see a lot of those. I'm sure it's deceiving because once it's up there, a million people watch it afterwards.
Yeah, I suppose Ron Carroll's got a really good one that he does every night.
Really?
Ron Carroll's doing this Nocturne from live from a club in Chicago, and he keeps getting guests in all the time. So Ron Carroll's been there, and he's had DJ Rugen there. He had a girl on last night who was really good. But it's a lot of like Chicago residents DJs pulling him in, and they're all good.
Yeah, I know. That's his thing, isn't it? I'd really like to see that. I mean, it's quite friendly with him, so I'm surprised I haven't seen.
I'll tag you in on it tonight, right? I'll tag you in on Facebook.
Probably on a weird time because it's probably an American. He's in America, and I'm probably sleeping by now when that's going on.
Yeah. Well, it's 5 hours back, isn't it? Chicago's 5 hours back, so so it's like 3:30 in the afternoon now or something.
Yeah, I'm three ahead of you. So
yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, check it. I'm normally up anyway. So.
Well, you must be nocturnal, the amount of gigs you've got anyway.
Well, not anymore. Not anymore. It's gone right the other way. I'm having a crack the door.
So, and you may have asked this just when I was getting a drink, so apologies if you have, just so you've answered the question. What brought you to Dubai?
No, I didn't ask that.
Well, I was coming here quite a bit, even back in the day. I think from about, oh God, probably about 2008, maybe. So I was coming here quite a lot. And then the recession hit in Dubai, so that work finished up. And then...
Recession in Dubai. They must have got down to the last 100 million, did they?
Everyone left here. It was when everyone left all their cars and Lamborghinis just on the side of the road.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So, but that recovered. And then a friend of mine, John Spohr, got in touch saying they were doing a boat party or something like that. And I came over for that. Met my mate Jack, who's now one of my best mates, and he was putting on a party called Sunstroke. So I came over to be a guest at that. And then basically, I think something happened. I think it was about 3 weeks in it. I mean, it wasn't never planned. It was never planned to come to Dubai. And then Jack went, "Oh, do you want to come back for another part?" I think I was guesting at 360. And then I was doing Tribeca the following day. And I didn't know it was for a residency. And literally, I flew back to the UK. And literally, as I got back to Swansea, Jack phoned up and said, "Oh, you've got that residency. If you want it, you start tomorrow, about 2 days." Turned back there, took my suitcase.
Yeah.
And went to Dubai. And I was flying back every weekend for about 6 weeks. And then I got a residency in 360 on a Saturday, so that was the end of flying back every weekend. And that was 7 years.
Yeah, it's mad, man. It seems like you've been out there for a lifetime now as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It feels. I mean, it's my home. It's my home. It's really weird. It's really weird. I mean, we've settled down before we're sharing, and it's never really a home. And now, we've got our own place, and this is our home. I can't think of leaving at the minute. It would upset me. I've still got my home in Swansea, and that will be my home forever.
Yeah.
It's I don't feel like a tourist in Dubai. I don't feel like I've just popped in.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, and I've got built up quite a good rep, and one of the faces here now.
And what about culturally? How did you find it culturally moving out there? Because it is a lot different in it than the UK. So
not really.
Well, I suppose if you scratch the surface, I suppose it would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, where I am, it's very westernised. It's very, very westernised.
Right.
I mean, there's places in the UAE that are a million miles away from Dubai or where I live in JBR.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got a pub downstairs. It's not what people, like the beach is 2 minutes away from. I can walk down to the beach, but you will walk down it. Normally, there would be people in bikinis, and you can't obviously drink on the street, but I don't think you can in the UK either. So
it's pretty much frowned upon.
High street, you can.
Oh, that's the law. That's the law. If you're not drinking,
you have to
do a bottle of sherry either end.
I don't know. I mean, I suppose I've got used to it, so it's probably not. I don't see it as much, but I'm sure. When Danielle come over, she was. I think it's weirder for a female.
I can agree with that. Yeah, I can see why that would be.
Because there's a lot more rules and a lot more, covering up, and you don't know when. But as a guy, I think it's pretty much all British and American people here. Very rarely you mingle with an Emirati.
Right.
So they're about 20% of the population. But
yeah,
there's a lot of Middle East cultures here, but they're all here as well. It's a melting pot. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, come.
Yeah, I don't like. I would love to come. I would love to come, and I'd happily take my missus. I wouldn't. I'd feel a little bit more uncomfortable taking my daughter. I don't know why. I just don't think it's that kind of. It's not like a beach holiday kind of holiday. I don't know.
It is a beach holiday.
Well, I know. Yeah, you're in.
Everywhere's a beach.
Beach holiday. Children with children, there's no worries. You could literally. I mean, you could literally let your children run down here. There's no crime, zero crime. You really wouldn't have to worry. It's probably one of the most safest places on the planet.
Yeah, I can imagine it would be.
I mean, it is. I mean, I can understand your concerns, but it's. I mean, it's probably not. It's the furthest from that. You know, it is a beach holiday. It is like it's like LA. It's very similar to LA.
Right. Okay.
Very similar to LA. I mean, the alcohol. There is laws, but not so much. I mean, you know, the drinking thing is very expensive, but it's done everywhere. You know, every restaurant, every hotel. You know, can drink. Well, not every restaurant. If it's a public restaurant or on a beach, you can't. But most of them, and you have to be in a hotel, but you can use any hotel. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, it must be all right because I haven't been arrested yet.
Well, I was going to say you've done 6 years now, Cliff. So it must have something about it.
No, that's it. And you'd think, right? Wouldn't you? You'd think.
And you ride as a bottle of Jack, so if you're doing 4 gigs a night.
You think they'd have clocked on to me by now. But,
So Clifford, this is probably a really difficult question for you because it has been for other DJs that we've got on. Can you name your top 5 house tracks?
I can never.
It'll be different tomorrow, wouldn't it?
It will, yeah. That's it. I was just trying to get an old interview, see what I wrote in there. Just I'm consistent with my story.
to try and jog your memory, Cliff, me and you have played a lot in the house scene as well. And there's been times where I've dropped tunes and you've always said, "This one never fucking fails. This one never fails."
Never fails.
Every time.
I can't remember any of them now.
When we used to play together in the evening, and obviously when we've done gigs together as well in Swansea. So, what's your top 5 never fails then? If you can't name your top 5 tunes.
It's a really tough one on the spot. I can't even think of a number 1 song, really. I mean, things like Joe Smooth, Promised Land, that's probably in there. I don't know. Byron Stingley, Get Up Everybody, very, current. Well, for me, that's what I'd put a lot of old stuff in my top 5. I guess. I don't know, even Candy Staton would get in there, because that's such a quality tune. Very difficult. Rolf Azario, Used to Hold Me, probably one of my favourite house tunes of all time as well. I don't know. But even stuff like, FBI projects and
Paul Jackson's favourite, that is.
Yeah, he loves a bit of FBI.
FBI project, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Found Love, Danny D, is it Double D?
Yeah.
Even stuff like, I like a bit of Cheese as well, like Black Box, and all those. Ride on Time should be in there. These are all tunes that I've grown up with and became part of house music. I suppose Massive Attack, Unfinished Symphony, probably my favourite tune of all time, thinking about it, but not necessarily a house tune. So
yeah, I think that when Black Box first came out and was being played around clubs, I was bloody Ritzies and stuff, wherever it was at that particular time. I would reckon that probably 99% of the people who are listening to that didn't realise it was ripped off Lolita Holloway.
No.
So,
people still talk about that now. That's the sort of vanilli of the house scene.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic Daniel Tivoli, isn't it? So
yeah, Yeah, it was all like
Black Box
Italio
Drive,
house
I
kind of
can't
stuff,
remember.
wasn't it? It was loads of Italian house.
Daniel Tivoli. He was Black Box.
Yeah, Daniel Tivoli. Yeah.
Me? Oh, I can't hear. I can't hear. Talk to
Uh,
himself. Oh, there we go. We're back.
yeah,
We're
it was.
back.
Yeah, it was. I'm sure it was Daniel Tivoli.
Yeah, Daniel Tivoli. I'm sure it is. If I stand correctly. But yeah, Louetta Holloway, massive sample. I mean, I didn't. As a kid, I wouldn't have known that. I just went Black Box. I didn't know. I didn't even know Louetta Holloway was dead when that came out. To be honest,
No.
so. Yeah, I mean, I tell that to a lot of people. They still don't believe me. So, but they still don't believe me that Vanilli Vanilli wasn't the singer.
No, just all manufactured in Germany, I think. Milli Vanilli.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. All manufactured. A couple of great things, anyway. Going off on a tangent now. Smurfs had a great song out once.
So Clifford, I've had one question in of one of the DJs of 100%. So it's the same question really we asked Ed Colonel, international DJ, but I'm assuming that his methods of getting gigs abroad may be slightly different to yours, where Ed would pretend he was his own agent, contact clubs and say he's in the area and get a few gigs while he's there and do a tour, a kind of mini tour kind of thing.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
No, absolutely not. I think it's
genius.
It's
entrepreneurship, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
It's very creative from him, and fair play to him, to be
hard
fair.
Hard to say yourself. So
yeah, but in terms of getting gigs abroad, what's your tips of getting? Not for DJ wanted to go to Ibiza, or for DJ wanted to go to DJ Malia or Magaluf or anywhere abroad where there's quite a big clubbing fraternity. How would you find somebody?
I'd say Ibiza, for instance. I think you need to be in Ibiza. No one's really going to book you off the island if you're up and coming. So you need to be on the island. You need to network with people. I've been going for a long time now. We've built up a real community of DJs. Yeah. And those DJs that we met early on are now big DJs. So that's the way we sort of all help each other. And I think just networking, I mean, you can do that on Facebook and online and getting involved, again, like especially these days with people's streams and just talking to them. You know, cause every DJ, no matter how big or small, they all appreciate some feedback, whether good or bad. And I think that generates interest. Then things happen from that. I mean, I've got a lot of friends in Vegas. That became a DJ because of Facebook connection. That was all it was. We were just chatting on Facebook about music and at the same sort of internet. And they were like, "Oh, do you want to come over? We'll have a little jam." And I was like, so one thing leads.
Do you want to come to Vegas for a jam? It's usually a bedroom in Sketty, in it. Do you want to
go? I was I've been very lucky, but I think it's the same sort of mentality maybe I've got as Ed, but I just do it slightly different a way around it. I try and build a little network of friends and then ask them for a gig, basically.
Yeah, well, why not? If it gets you the result.
I mean, the long and short of it, it's probably how it would seem, or how it works. But
I know back in the Escape days, there used to be quite a lot of gig swaps as well, didn't there?
Yeah, I think they're still there. I mean,
they're still there. Okay.
Yeah, people would still expect.
Where's my swap then?
No,
you want to swap your living room for Cliff's living room?
There's no gig swaps there ever.
I'm sure there's a 45-minute set going somewhere.
I'm going to be looking at his watch.
Got a boat party coming up. Yeah, I suppose gig swaps still happen, not as much. More seriously, I mean, maybe that's because where I am. Yeah. I don't know, but. No one wants to swap with me, basically. No.
Nobody wants you Monday night.
Yeah, no one wants. Reggaeton, but I don't know. I haven't had a gig swap for a long time, but I think that's a really good. If you're coming up through and you do have a residency, no matter where it is, especially especially UK based, even.
Yeah.
You know, if there's a guy in, you know, Manchester who wants to get further afield, then maybe swap one night, do his gig, you do, and vice versa, even that night. So
you used to do that quite a lot on Escape, didn't you? And to be fair, I used to take you all over.
Yeah, no, so I did quite a lot. I wasn't a big gig swapper. I think we got a lot of bookings off the people we booked, which was, again, it is a gig swap, but it would never be like, you know, come and DJ here, you come and DJ there. I don't know. Again, more networking, but it probably is a swap, I guess. Just the way I sort of work. If I try and help each other out more than anything. And, you know, everybody needs to spread their wings, and you know. But Ed's really good at stuff like that. I've never been very good at selling myself, so it's just a difficult sell for me. I can sell somebody else, no problem. I can talk to the cows come over about somebody else, but I'll try and shy down. And a lot of people always say to me, "You should big up," because I'm like, "Oh, don't worry about me." So,
yeah, but
you're talented enough, or your music does the talking. So that's
you hope, but you know, not everybody knows, do they? So, but I'm playing the long game.
Well, you're still doing it. How many years after?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. God, I even think it's probably coming up to 30 years. Really.
Okay, now.
It is, 30 years.
30 years.
16, 46.
That's brilliant. So I know you've talked about quite a lot about DJing abroad and stuff. So what kind of places and venues and countries have you played in, Cliff?
I don't know. I played a lot in Asia recently. So,
I'm going to be doing a mini Asia tour in the end of the year.
Yeah, it's wicked, man.
I'm flying there on holiday, so I'm going to do the Ed Colonel thing and fly there already, and then get some gigs.
Where are you going?
We're flying to Bangkok first.
Yeah.
The 13th of December. I'm coming home about the 10th of January, but we're going to. I spoke to Steve Shaw, who's on.
Yeah.
Who we interviewed last week. So he's going to get me a gig in Bangkok. He's doing all this. It's not me. Phuket, and then I'm doing 2 gigs in Ho Chi Minh and a gig in Hoi An.
Oh, wicked.
In Vietnam.
Yeah, Vietnam. Oh, wicked. So you're doing the whole proper tour. You don't go to Malaysia. I'll try and see what I can do.
Okay.
As well. See what dates. See if you can get over to Malaysia. Because you're there, you might as well go for it. And,
flights are only about 30 quid a day in between countries. It's mental.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, nothing.
It's nothing. So I'm there on holiday anyway. So if I can fit a gig or two in.
I mean, you've given some really good advice to any up and coming DJ, because you sort of answered how that question of how you get gigs abroad, and you know, it's again networking, and Steve's sorting out those gigs for you.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it evolves. That's literally how it evolves. And then at those gigs, you will meet other like-minded people, and then that can even turn. You know, for me, that's how I ended up living in Dubai, because I just met like-minded people, and then they become your friends. So.
And now you're playing 6 days a week.
And I got. I'm playing my first gig for ages, properly. First gig for ages today. I haven't DJed for months. So obviously.
So where else have you played? I know I interrupted in the Asia.
Oh yeah. God, I don't know. New York, Miami, Jamaica, Barbados, LA, Las Vegas. Where else? God, Ibiza, Germany, Spain, obviously, Ibiza, Slovakia, Slovenia. Norway.
And you still preferred Northampton Lane?
I don't know. I've not played in Australia. I want to play Hong Kong.
Right.
I don't know. Pretty much most of the Middle East. Yeah, pretty good. Poland. Not played in Russia. Always wanted to play there. So St. Petersburg.
I think Kurno has, hasn't he? Did Kurno say he's played in Russia? They locked him in a cupboard, didn't they? Because he was too pissed. Yeah. He was too pissed. They locked him in a cupboard for an hour to try and sober him up. But he didn't realise. He didn't realise that. Well, he still didn't realise when we interviewed him. That's the reason why they've done it. But we knew.
They do like to drink. I mean, Poland they like to drink. So I can imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine there's a rival vodka thing, isn't there?
Yeah. So apart from Swansea, and I say the same. I haven't played in anywhere near the same places you have, but I've played in a few places in Europe, and I've played all over the UK, and nothing compares to me to the vibe that I get in Swansea. That may be because it's home, and you may think the same. But apart from Swansea, where's your favourite place to DJ?
Oh, I don't know. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. I mean, Swansea is, I'm exactly like you there. I get excited to come back to DJ in Swansea, especially last week for you. It's amazing.
Yeah, good gig was.
It's just electric. I mean, where else? I mean, obviously London's a big part of my life as well. So I do love playing in London.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess, I don't know, I get excited at Ibiza still. I mean, how could you not be excited to play in Ibiza? So probably Ibiza is the other place I go, oh my God, can go back and win. So yeah, I mean, Ibiza, London, Ibiza, Swansea always first. I'd get more excited about playing in Swansea than I would about playing in Ibiza.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, yeah.
And that's a testament, really, of the people in Swansea.
It is. I've missed the people. I've missed the vibe. I've missed what they create. And you don't get that. I don't get that here. Definitely don't get that here. And you get it to an extent in Ibiza because everyone's going for it, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's the part of the island. You can go to Swansea on a random week in January, on a random Saturday in January, and it'll still be as powerful. Yeah. Well, it would be. I would be.
Yeah, you're more experienced in that sort of field than what I am. We were going to, as it goes, you talked about Ibiza. We were going to play before this lockdown. I was speaking to Kerry about us coming over and doing like a 5-day takeover in Ibiza. He's got quite a lot of residencies and connections in Ibiza.
He does really well. I mean, we've been out there quite a long time. Kerry pretty much looks after the whole Ibiza thing for the company, and he's got Ibiza anyone. I think we were going to do Ibiza Rocks or something. We had a few residencies and Beach Star. Obviously, this will all move to next year, but that would be a fantastic thing if you could do that. So
yeah, we'd be more than happy to come over.
Yeah, it'd be amazing. It'd be amazing for us to have you guys over there. I mean, I didn't go last year. Just I was working too much here. Kerry kept things going. The year before that, I think I was doing a lot of stuff with me, Kerry, and Mark Doyle from Head Candy.
Yeah, that's right.
So we just started working again with them. But yeah, it'd be great to get you involved in that whole little community as well. So even if it's to the point where you're doing that sunset at Mambo's and stuff like that, because pretty much all that strip is our friends more than anything now, because we've either put DJs in there or the DJs have become part of our sort of group, I guess.
Yeah, we'd love to come out. Obviously, it'd be like I've never played in Ibiza before, and it's one to tick off the bucket list.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I mean, it's something else. It's something else. And great for you to get the brand out there as well. That would be really, and I think you have a look at clubs like Eden and stuff like that, where they really love that brand. They really love what you're doing, and I think it would really suit
that'd be good if you can sort that out for us. That'd be fucking amazing.
But it's a good concept, and people. It says what it does on the tin, doesn't it? So you know, but you want a bit of fucking old school, literally, yeah. So it's good. I speak to Kerry. Kerry's your man, really, on that.
We've spoken to Kerry quite a lot. He's a top bloke. So probably the final question from me, and I'm not sure if Justin's got any more that he wants to find out of you, but you've got Real House TV, you've got Real House Records, the company, which is, you've got your own like group of DJs as well, which you spread around different things. Yeah. So what's your plans and the company's plans in the next 12 to 18 months after given the lockdown?
I mean, so we're starting here. We're continuing doing streaming here, but we've as a company, we're branching out and selling that to other companies to do their own streaming channel because it's taken off so well. So we've got one contract ready to sign off. And then we're doing a lot of boat parties and pop-up parties here in Dubai.
Pop-up party. What's a pop-up party?
So a pop-up party is it's not a weekly party, I guess. So we'll find a really cool venue. Like Jack was doing some last season. He did this rooftop bar. It was just a pop-up, so it's just really quickly promoted. Right, this week we're having a party here, members only, bang. So
that's
we're
cool.
It's a pretty cool idea. So and they sell out really quick because it's going to be gone. So, but you have to put, a lot of effort into the decor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm doing a lot behind the scenes. So I do a lot daytime work. I do a lot of like editing and video editing for people, building websites and stuff like that. So I do a lot of that in the day, alongside the production. But yeah, I don't know. 13 months. I just hope we can all get back out into the clubs really and start promoting as normal. And I'd like to do get back out and do a little bit of a tour myself. So that's probably where we are. And looking at Ibiza then for next season, doing some weekly events. So,
nice.
Yeah, but yeah, that's really about it. Really about it. No master plan, unfortunately.
That's fine. So when are you planning on coming back to Swansea?
Well, actually, I'm trying to get there. I've been trying to get home for ages because I'm stuck here. So
right.
I have been. I think I can leave now. So I think I'll probably be there in September. I think first week of September.
Okay, so, that's cool. That's cool.
September. Only for a week.
And this has just come into my head now. So what's the chances of getting Cliff and Byrne reunion?
Well, I've been trying for that for a long time.
I'd love to book the two of you.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even get hold of Byrne. I've spoke to Scott Howe. He hasn't spoken to him for a while. I mean, the last he told me we'll never DJ again. That's the last thing he said to me, and that was a few years ago.
Okay, man,
never DJ publicly again. Sorry,
yeah.
If you're listening, but I just think he's done his time. I think technology. He was never like UJ. He was never happy with technology with the CDJ. Hated it. Used it as a drink coaster when we first had it. So I think that
like Justin.
Like
Justin.
That's me.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, I think I offered him $5,000 once, and he turned that down.
Fucking hell.
That's done you.
I'm not paying him that. I love him. I love him. I'm not paying him that.
I wasn't going to pay him. I just wanted to see if he'd do it.
I'll do a pool sanctuary with Eric Rillo. Book him and just don't pay him.
See you then. Thanks.
The thing I was going to ask you, Cliff, really to wrap it up, is that in Swansea, when you were playing in Escape, there was quite a lot of DJs that were inspired, that were in the crowd when you first started playing and got inspired, and they came up. Well, my brother was one, Stevie Tom, isn't it? So yeah. So so do you have that same kind of thing? Is that happening out in Dubai? Do you find that you're kind of there's any sort of proteges that you're bringing through out there?
Yeah, I think so. I think I've got a good following. I think I have. I mean, even in before lockdown, one guy he tries to Shazam all my tunes, and
right, okay.
But he came up to me and he went, "Oh my God, I come here every week, and I'm trying to get half of them are not on here." I said, "Mate, just take this." I gave him a stick. I gave him the whole because I've got a clone, so just a taste. So he was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "It's all right."
You wouldn't have done that if it was a record bag, would you?
No chance. All right, Greg, get your hands off. But I mean, I do get quite a, which is really nice for me, and it, being in another city and still getting that same sort of recognition, even in smaller dose than I do get back home.
Yeah,
it's really nice to know that I've it's something that I can actually do quite well, and inspire. If I can inspire one person in that crowd, whether to be a DJ or whether to train, follow the house music generation, and my job's been done, I think. So, well, I feel, I don't know, I feel pleased.
Give them something back. Give them something back to the scene, really, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think that's my whole ethos, really, is to try and push it. I'm not trying to take from it. I'm trying to grow it, I guess. But yeah, but really nice, really nice. But I never get like Stevens, you know, he still loves me now. He's a grown man, kids, you know,
Yeah.
and a veteran DJ himself now. So
he's got grey hair and everything. A bit like us now.
I was playing the guitar the other day.
Say again.
He was playing the guitar the other day.
Yeah, he's good. He taught himself to play the guitar. He's a good guitarist, actually.
Yeah, I saw a little thing. I thought, what's going on here?
Yeah, that doesn't look electronic. It's not even. It was an acoustic as well, not even electronic. He's got some skills somewhere.
Yeah. I think we've all got to be. I think we've all given something. I think it's really admirable that I get people messaging me, and it makes my day if I get just a Facebook message saying, "Oh, I love your songs," or "Got that mix on repeat."
Yeah.
It's just things like that, because I think once you've done it for so long, you know, your best mates don't say fuck all anymore.
No, that's right.
So
your best mates,
it's just Cliff playing fucking records again, is what they say.
No, you turn that shit off.
Yeah. Why is it all this bang bang music, Clifford?
Your best mates wait for you to fuck up a mix and they sing a review about it.
That's the only time they'll give you any sort of feedback.
You clanged that one, you little twat.
I get that a lot. So,
not the little part.
So yeah, but it's really nice for those little emails or just
virtual pats on the back, really.
Really makes my day, and it, I appreciate everybody who's watching this has ever listened or said thank you for the mix or stuff like that, because it really makes it worthwhile for me more than any monetary value or anything like that. It pushes me forward to be inspired again and then try and do something else, or always trying to think. But yeah, I'm sure it's the same for you guys. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely it is, man. Absolutely it is. It'd be when you come back, we'll have to get together and chew the cud over a pint. Then
that's right.
Bottle of Jack's on us. You still on the Jack?
Still on the Jack, yeah.
You were loyal, mind.
I am loyal to the brand. I have been drinking a bit of Jim Beam. I feel guilty about it. So.
Jack's not listening, don't worry.
I ended up drinking a lot, actually, because alcohol's so expensive here. I drink a lot of pints. I give myself that. It's so hot.
Yeah.
Pop out for a pint.
Yes, good on you. Well, thank you very much for spending the last hour and a half or whatever it is with us.
Pleasure.
And obviously, when you come back, give me a message and we'll try and sort something out.
Yeah, when you're over here, don't forget about your Asia tour. I'll try and hook you up with whoever I know out there.
Okay.
Ardor knows a lot of people, so I'll put you in touch with him.
Yeah, it's an Asia holiday. My message will be tamping if I turn it into a tour. Fuck her anyway. Yeah, fuck her.
I'm getting Greg P's Asian Tour 2020-21 t-shirts printed.
At least I'll sell one. Stop, man. Thank you very much for your time, Clifford.
Thank you, guys.
Take care, man. Take it easy.
Big love.
Bye.